Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks host the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. Tonight at 7 p.m., it's soccer night, and kids glow around the bases postgame. Saturday at 6:30, it's Broadway night with postgame fireworks and Broadway rave. Sunday at 1:30, it's Military Appreciation Day, and the kids run around the bases.
A great day out for the entire family. Kids run the bases after every Sunday home game. Want the best seats all season? Get more Ferry Hawks for only $63. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Sunday morning, Steve Cates, otherwise known as Dr. Sky, and so many interesting things happening up there on Mars, Moon. Where are we starting with today, Steve Cates?
Well, good morning. Happy Sunday. And, John, we begin with aviation. Many people, according to military and commercial firms and the Department of War, are developing these hypersonic aircraft. So here's a company with its own investments called Hermes. They're developing the world's fastest aircraft, as they say, with goals of exceeding the all-time favorite of the high-speed aircraft developed by the Lockheed Skunk Works back in the 1950s and 60s, the SR-71. That aircraft, John, went at least as fast, recorded officially at Mach 3.2, and this company is now testing some serious aircraft prototypes to move into that realm, as many others, into having hyper speed.
Well, what they need is a hyperspeed, I guess, to replace the Concorde. The Concorde is 70-year-old technology. How do you say 70 years old? So I think it's time that they do something for the consumer.
Absolutely. Stay tuned and keep watching the company called Hermes. We'll report about their developments. But, John, earth-shaking news, literally, no pun intended. A series of massive earthquakes has been detected around the world. Back on June 8th, many people may not know, 2 massive quakes, one on the other side of the world, over in the Philippines. And then here's an interesting one, John. A quake just off the coast of Cuba, a 6.1 on the Richter scale that hadn't been, exceeded since the year 1880 when there was a 6.0. But what's interesting about it, John, the detection of that earthquake, maybe not felt by people all the way up in, say, Washington State. Seismometers around the country detected this moments afterwards. But I guess people along the Florida coast, they indeed felt the shaking of this 6.1 earthquake deep into the ocean in the Gulf of America, as we say. But, John, here's something very interesting. One of the most phenomenal earthquakes ever to hit here in the United States, the continental United States. Let's go back to the time when we talked about something called the New Madrid earthquake. And that happened in the year 1811, December the 16th. 2 massive earthquakes with aftershocks, an 8.2 and a 7.4, all within the period of one day. Now, if you think about that, John, this is in the location of Missouri along the Mississippi River, a place that you would think is not prone to so many earthquakes. So this indeed happened because of 2 plates dropping or shifting deeper within the earth. That's an amazing statistic for the United States.
That is, and I guess stuff happens, and hopefully it doesn't happen very often. I mean, they were also talking about a giant earthquake that's been dormant for 100,000 years in Greece that might be coming alive.
Absolutely. But think of it again, going to Mars, since you and I love that topic. The largest volcano in the solar system, we talked about it a few weeks ago, is something called Mount Olympus, Nix Olympia, which is some 80,000 feet, nearly tall. And can you imagine the hell that particular volcano produced, millions if billions of years ago? That is indeed a gigantic volcano. So activity like this is very prevalent here on the Earth. We really don't understand the increase of these, but we'll keep a watch on this and report it as we get it.
We had a discussion at one time about the Martian moon Phobos and how that Russian aircraft was shot down. Well, I think that our other host, Walter Sterling, had somebody on where a Russian astronaut was talking about it, that the fact is that Russian craft that was trying to land Phobos was actually shot down.
That's amazing. So the mystery of Phobos, John, is people don't even know if that's really an artificial moon. It could be hollow. Who knows?
Well, the Martians went someplace, so maybe the Martians went to Phobos. We don't. The truth is, we joke about it, but you never know.
Absolutely. But we always end off, John, with the mystery of the week, and here we go briefly. 5 ways or so that Einstein changed the world. Now, we all know that Einstein, of course, in his great genius, his theories are still working fairly accurately today. But in 1905, Einstein, 26 years old, was a patent clerk in Austria. And you could have walked into his office to patent something and not realized that this man's about to change the course of science. What did he really do that changed the world that we know? If it wasn't for Einstein, we wouldn't really have what we call GPS because of signals and the time dilation and all the stuff of relativity. Solar power. He worked on something called the photoelectric effect. That light can be both a particle and a wave, very much conducive to things like solar panels, lasers. That's another thing that he didn't invent, but he gave us the theory of how they work. And of course, the most famous of all, E equals mc squared, which is energy equals mass times the speed of light. And that squared gives us what we know today as incredible power, but not as powerful, John, as if we could grab and create antimatter, something that would be far more effective. Even a tiny gram of it might cause a lot of damage. So maybe we're lucky we don't have antimatter available 24/7 at this point.
I'm not sure we're that near the word antimatter, but it may happen someday. I'm sure it will happen someday.
Absolutely. And keep your eyes to the skies, John, this week. Mars and Jupiter continue that romance, a beautiful conjunction. Look to the northwest sky right after sunset. And it's always a privilege and honor to share this and these stories from our own show. And thank you for that opportunity, the Dr. Sky Experience. Fridays midnight to 2 a.m. Saturday, Eastern Daylight Time, and Saturday midnight to 2 a.m. Sunday, Eastern Daylight Time, right here on Talk Radio 77, WABC.
Thank you so much.